Jeff English with the Kentucky Derby Festival.
Can you talk about your race?
Sure. It's on April 28th, which is exactly 1 week before the 138th running of the Kentucky Derby. Our race starts in downtown Louisville and it heads through the downtown area, through Old Louisville, into Churchill Downs. The highlight of the race is running underneath the track and into the infield. Because the horses are in town and because they're getting training and acclimated to Churchill Downs, they're doing their morning workouts while you are running through the infield next to them. So you hear the hooves running and you hear all the sounds, and Churchill Downs is getting decorated and ready for the Derby the following week. And so for the half marathon, you hang a left and you go back through the University of Louisville into downtown Louisville to the finish line. If you're doing the full marathon, you head through Iroquois Park, which was designed by Frederick Olmsted. He also designed Central Park, and so it looks very similar in shape and structure and size. Once you're done with Iroquois Park, you make your way back through the university again, and then you come through some other old sections of Louisville before you head to the finish line. We have 18,000 runners. It's a very exciting time in Louisville because we are getting ready for the Derby. We have the Kentucky Derby Festival, which has over 70 events leading up to the actual Derby the next week.
Talk about your course in sense how hilly or flat, or what kind of course do you have?
We used to have a very hilly course because Louisville in and of itself is very hilly. What we found in interviewing a lot of our runners is that we needed to change that, and so last year we created a brand new course. We used to start in Iroquois Park and go back to the finish line in downtown Louisville. Now we've done a loop course, and as you can see, the elevation, you start high, you go down a hill. It maintains a relatively flat course until you get to the end where there's a minor hill right here at about mile 12, and then you come down to a flat and decline finish at the end.
For the half?
For the half.
And the full?
For the full, the hill in the full lies in Iroquois Park, and we decided to go ahead and keep that as part of the race course because it's such a historically significant part of the race. The race has been around for 39 years, and it's always run through Iroquois Park, some part of it, and so we had to keep that part for the historical significance of it. It is a hill, but as you can see, the rest of the race is relatively flat.
Can you talk about your medals and after race party, because a lot of people are coming for that. It looks like you have a lot of things going on.
Well, here are our medals right here. This is 2008, 2009, 2010, and then last year's medals. They're a very nice collection of medals. We always pride ourselves on also the ribbons that come with it. The after race party is held at Waterfront Park, and there's a series of concerts, runners reunite area, there's beer, there's food, there's all the different, bananas, bagels, everything else that a runner would want, as well, along with folks that are giving things out and providing milk and everything else for the runners. So it's a very lively, family-friendly atmosphere.
How's the weather like late April around?
Well, it's spring, and we can have a race with a high of 50 degrees. We can also have a race with a high of 75 or 80 degrees. I would say the average climate, or the average temperature of our race is probably going to be around 50 degrees at the start and 65 degrees at the finish.
Great. Do you like to say anything to the runners who wants to come to run your race? One last word?
Well, we'd love to have you out here. Springtime and Southern hospitality in Louisville, especially during that time of the year, doesn't get any better. We clean up the city. It's Derby time. This whole city comes alive. Nobody works the next week. It's just one giant party from that Saturday through the greatest 2 minutes in sports.